Good morning. Today is Sunday, January 1st, 2017. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Abby Huntsman. We do begin with a Fox News alert. Terrorist strike at a nightclub slaughtering dozens of innocent people celebrating New Year's Eve. And the killer dressed as Santa Claus. The disturbing new details breaking at this hour.
Meanwhile, major news breaking at Mar-a-Lago. The president-elect promising a major revelation about those Russian hacks.
Like what do you know that other people don't know?
You'll find out on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, the story has many twists and turns and takes another bizarre turn.
And I'm not going to say that I told you so, but...
We didn't have a sound check for this New Year's, baby. That's okay, you guys. Put these monitors on, please. You just don't get any better.
What the heck happened? Fox and Friends starts right now. This is what she sounds like in a studio.
When she actually sings.
About 10 years ago.
Happy New Year, everyone. This is a live look at New York City. This is Times Square, and it's amazing how quickly they clean up this city. Look how clean. You can almost eat off of that street.
I don't know. Did you walk down the street this morning?
It's deceiving because it looks clean from there, but if you get close up,
I wouldn't eat off that street.
It's not as cliche.
Yeah, it does look clean. It smells bad. But here's the thing. They get these like giant vacuum cleaners out that clean up confetti. Like, where do you buy those?
Yeah.
You know, it's just a confetti vacuum cleaner and sucks up all the trash.
It's a good point, though. I mean, kudos to everyone that's up working late on New Year's, cleaning up the mess that we know.
When I saw all the when we were walking at 4:30, all the NYPD officers coming off shift. They've been working all night to make sure it's secure,
Right.
and it went off.
Yeah, but
very
Happy
well
New Year,
here in New
everybody.
York City.
We are in 2017. We made it here.
So send us in your pictures this morning and let us know how you celebrated your New Year's Eve last night. We'll share them throughout the show with you this morning.
And a hard turn here now to some of your headlines. And as we mentioned earlier, Fox News alert. New Year's Day terror, a manhunt now intensifying for a gunman dressed as Santa Claus who opened fire inside a packed Turkish nightclub. The chilling gunfire all caught on camera. Frightening. Surveillance cameras also capturing the attacker shooting his way inside the Arena nightclub in Istanbul. At least 39 people are dead, including a police officer. 69 others are injured. Cameras inside appearing to show the attacker wearing a Santa Claus hat walking around debris. It's still unclear if he worked alone, but no one has claimed responsibility for that attack as of now. We will, of course, keep you updated on that manhunt all morning long. And this just hours from now, a plane preparing to take off for Virginia to Moscow with 35 Russian diplomats and their families all on board that plane. The diplomatic showdown intensifying by the hour between the White House and Moscow. The president imposing sanctions and ordering the diplomats out of the U.S. for their cyber attacks meant to interfere with our election. Russian President Vladimir Putin choosing not to respond, instead waiting to see how U.S.-Russian relations develop under the new Trump administration. And Pope Francis delivering his New Year's Day Mass at the Vatican, making the Catholic Church's World Day of Peace.
Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Pax vobis.
Et cum spiritu tuo.
Hundreds gathering to hear the pontiff give his year-end message at St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope calling on the faithful to embrace humility and tenderness while also urging leaders to do more to tackle youth unemployment. And those are some of your headlines this morning. Some brutal headlines, though, as we wake up to 2017.
Yeah.
Terrorism still just so frightening.
Well, you want to have a lot of hope for the new year, and a lot of us do, and a belief that we can turn a page and there's new leadership in this country, but you can't undo the damage that's been done and the threats that exist in the world, and they manifest themselves right away.
Yeah.
It's been a brutal year, so hopefully we can turn the page on 2017. That's what Donald Trump was trying to do last night down in Mar-a-Lago, celebrating New Year's Eve, and he took a few moments out to talk to some reporters and wanted to get some more clarification on his stance on the Russian hacking scandal, what's going on there. And he revealed something interesting, that we're going to learn about something on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, saying, I know something, sort of a big reveal. Listen to what he had to say.
I just want them to be sure, because it's a pretty serious charge, and I want them to be sure. And if you look at the weapons of mass destruction, that was a disaster, and they were wrong. And so I want them to be sure. I think it's unfair if they don't know. And I know a lot about hacking, and hacking is a very hard thing to prove. So it could be somebody else. And I also know things that other people don't know, and so they cannot be sure of the situation.
Like what do you know that other people don't know?
You'll find out on Tuesday or Wednesday.
This is so interesting, and also so President-elect Donald Trump, right? He always kind of leaves us hanging, wanting a little bit more. So he says he'll announce it maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, as you said.
Right.
But really hard to know what he's referring to here. Is it something that he knows to do with the Russians? Is it something totally separate from that?
Third party? I mean, well, look, the report we saw late last week was pretty vague, right? If anything, it opened more doors for third parties to have done the hacking. This open source code that they talked about in this report is like openly available, not just owned by the Russian government. Anyone can use it to break into computers. So what does he know?
As you talked about, evidence so far has been very, very thin. And absent evidence, you get a lot of speculation and you get a lot of finger pointing. And so far, it feels like a lot of it has been politically motivated. Not saying our intelligence community is politically motivated. So many great intelligence professionals that do great work that aren't beholden to anybody or anything. But when this White House is looking for a reason to discredit Donald Trump, and they can point to the Russians easily, and then you have a press willing to regurgitate it no matter what, then it does lead to some frustration and some Donald Trump saying, wait, let me gather the facts and I'll reveal them. And we don't know what he knows, but he presumably knows something.
Yeah, and I think it's something that both sides of the political aisle can respect, to say we don't want to have what happened with the WMDs, where you don't know as much, or the American people don't know as much, and you leave them sort of hanging, and a lot of questions come after that. We don't want that scenario. So he's saying, I want to get all the facts right here. I want to know what we're dealing with. I want to communicate with the American people what we do know. I think that's something that you can respect.
Well, we have a lot of facts on Mariah Carey, and yesterday we were breaking all.
I didn't know you were going there. I thought you were going to more Russian facts, but you're going to Mariah Carey.
The New York Post yesterday laid out, which I was stunned by this. I mean, we all know that she has this big entourage. Things that she's like a bit of a train wreck. She can't show up on time. We don't know.
Capers and salmon.
That's all she eats all day. Her staff yesterday or the day before, had to call Dick Clark Productions to find out what time the ball drops.
We helped her with that.
We helped her. It drops at midnight. So then last night, this amazing performance. She is out there in Times Square on ABC doing this amazing performance, and well, it's an appropriate end to 2016. Watch this.
Just don't get
Josh Groban, great singer, tweeted
Love
last
Josh
night.
Groban.
He said he tweeted last night. He says, when one of your favorite pop singers lip syncs, an angel loses its wings. So
it's spot on. You know what though? She said, "I'm trying to be a good sport here," and I think everyone watching that was being a good sport, because that was, as you could say, an epic fail. That was rough.
Rick, you were out there.
I mean, sport. But Rick, what do you think?
Were you out there? Did you watch it live?
No, I was sleeping. Are you crazy?
Are you sad you missed it live?
No, because now you can just watch the highlight reel.
What did you think of that? Because you probably saw it there for the first time.
Yeah, just right now. Well, I kind of think good for her. Like, if it's going bad, you just say it's going bad. The bad part
She's
is
like,
that
look,
there's
these monitors don't work. That's kind of like what you do if the weather computer breaks. You're like, guys,
you just got to be like, oh, this ain't working.
Yeah, but you know what you don't do, Rick? You don't hand us the mic and say, just do the weather for me.
You guys sing, and the high notes that she's known for, she would just stand there while the high notes played. She's clearly not singing any.
Yeah, like playing her
the
track.
curtain was just lifted.
Yeah.
Right.
That was rough, Rick. That was rough.
It was. But didn't we know this for a while?
We did.
I did, but I love that she says, just do the flip. Just do the flip anyway. And the one guy
do it anyway
lifts
for
her
fun.
leg up.
Right, just for fun.
At least she showed up, though. At least she showed up.
Yeah,
she did. She was on time.
Give the people what they want.
That was amazing. Actually, think about how much more memorable this is and how much more we enjoyed it now, right? Than we would have otherwise. That's what I think. All right, here you go. Here's your temps as you're waking up right now. Nothing that bad to start the year. Big changes coming this week, though. We have one storm down across parts of the south, bringing a lot of rain and a little bit of flooding threat here. We're going to continue to see that across the central Gulf. And then out across the west, there's a new storm pulling in across parts of the southwest. That's going to bring rain and mountain snow. But later today, it's going to move in across the southern plains, and we have a severe weather threat. I think today is certainly some hail and some very strong winds. Tomorrow, however, a better chance for tornadoes. We could be watching a bit of a tornado outbreak for Monday here across parts of the south. So get ready, especially in throughout Mississippi. Could even see a large tornado or two. So that's one thing. The other thing that's about to happen is the temperatures are about to change a lot. You see that little bit of pink returning there tomorrow. And take a look by Tuesday, -3 in Billings, Wednesday, -4 in Fargo. By the time we get to Thursday, we're seeing cooler temps come all the way to the south. So big changes this week, guys, coming. We have cold air returning spring. It's going to feel like winter. I mean, it's January.
Right, it's appropriate.
Makes sense.
It's appropriate. It's the right time
About
for
that time
it.
of year.
By the way, you looked so cold yesterday.
It was so
You were
freezing.
shivering.
On top of the
I felt so
building?
sorry for
Yeah, it was probably like maybe about a 10-degree wind chill up there.
Oh, nice.
You're
Yeah.
true, Rick.
Yeah,
It was.
it showed.
And I wore my fancy coat instead of my warm coat, which was the wrong choice.
Yeah. Not a
Well,
good
we're
idea.
going to, to honor your being in the studio, we're going to show you more Mariah Carey clips all
All
morning.
morning.
Just for
Please.
you.
We're going to
do.
celebrate.
Yeah.
Thank
Celebrate.
you, Rick.
All right, coming up here on the show, critics thought it would never happen. Is the mainstream media actually turning on President Obama?
And she thinks she's black, but she's white. And now she's back in the headlines. Is that a Rachel Dole?
15 minutes after the hour, welcome back. So President Obama under fire for an unlikely critic, the mainstream media, even Rolling Stone, casting some doubt about his claims that Russia hacked the election, writing this. Like the WMD story, there's an element of salesmanship the government is using to push the hacking narrative that should make reporters nervous. But is this comparison even fair? We'll hear to debate former advisor to President George W. Bush, Brad Blakeman, and Democratic strategist Jessica Tarlov. Good morning to both of you. Happy
Morning.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. so
What's better
more
than
news.
WMD is
Right.
2017.
Going to 2017. Brad, is this a fair comparison?
It is not a fair comparison. It's not a comparison at all. But look, Rolling Stone is a left publication. If they're going to bash Obama, got to throw a Bush in there. Can't be Obama all by himself. Look, Obama played Russian roulette, and Putin was playing chess, and he got checkmated because he expected Putin to take advantage of the fact that we expelled diplomats and created sanctions. And Putin didn't take the bait. This has nothing to do with WMD. As a matter of fact, if we go back to that story, it wasn't about WMD at all. It was about the sanctions against Saddam Hussein, what brought on the war. The fact is that we didn't find it, didn't mean he didn't have it. We knew he had it because he used it on the Kurds. But this is a false accusation.
Jessica, your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I'd like to see some proof. I think it's important for everyone on both sides of the aisle to see that. If we have 17 intelligence agencies saying that the Russians interfered in our election, there must be at least a little tidbit that we could see of that. You have John McCain out there saying that this is an act of war and that he wants to get the investigation going in Congress before Donald Trump is sworn in, which I think is important on a bipartisan level to say this isn't about Obama or Trump. This is about our national security. But it is obviously concerning. We're not at WMD level at this point. But again, you know, even 17 agencies show us something. I think it's important at this point. And this could haunt Obama going forward, that this is one of the final things that he's doing when he's leaving office.
Well, that's exactly what some in the mainstream media are saying as well, including Rolling Stone,
Right.
who had this article out yesterday. And here's in part, Brad, what they said. They said if the American security agencies did have a smoking gun, evidence that the Russians had an organized campaign to derail the U.S. presidential election and deliver the White House to Trump, then expelling just a few dozen diplomats after the election seems like an oddly weak and ill-timed response.
It is. And if anything, it shows the ineptness of this president. Look, Obama's job right now is a smooth and orderly transition of power. It's really up to Donald Trump as the new incoming president to establish a relationship with Russia and to do whatever is in the best interest of the United States with regard to what they had done or not done during the national election. It's not up to Obama because Obama's gone in just a few days.
What information do you think President-elect Trump has? He says he's going to reveal it mid-next week.
Maybe he'll tell us who that 400-pound man is who's hacking everything. Yeah.
I mean, who
Well,
knows?
one thing is for sure is Donald Trump knows a heck of a lot more than he did before he was president. And I believe Donald Trump is going to act in the best interest of the United States when he is the president. Not now, he doesn't have the power to do it, but certainly what Obama did to Putin does not hurt Putin.
But I mean, taking a step back, though, for President-elect Trump to say, look, we've got to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, but that's what he said about the Muslims. That's what he says about everything. And yes, he's definitely picked up a few tidbits of information since he was elected.
He's picked up a lot of
Listen,
information.
the guy is still saying things like, we don't know what's going on with these computers. We have a president-elect who doesn't use a computer. I do not trust him on cybersecurity. He talked about his son and cybersecurity and the passwords. That's not how I want a president talking.
I trust Donald Trump's judgment, and more importantly, I believe Donald Trump listens to the experts that he's brought to government or will bring to government, who are the best of the best. It's clear that his appointments so far have been people who have been very successful
in business.
In the spheres, but
in business.
They're bottom line people. They're doers. They get things done in a town that is dysfunctional. So I think the chaos that'll be brought on Washington is good. It's healthy, and this is exactly what the American people want.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Going into 2017. Good morning, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you. All right. One of Donald Trump's greatest enemies in the media in hot water this morning. The story that just blew up in the Washington Post face. That is straight ahead. And new year and new movies.
Welcome back. We've got some headlines for you. 2 small planes crashing midair, plunging to the ground and bursting into flames, unfortunately killing at least 3. Terrifying video showing fiery wreckage near Dallas, Texas. One of the planes falling straight down into a storage unit, the other into a Home Depot parking lot. Thankfully, the parking lot. And brand new concerns over the health of Queen Elizabeth growing at this hour. Buckingham Palace saying she's still too sick to attend the annual New Year's Day church service this morning. She also missed Christmas Mass due to a heavy cold. We wish her certainly the best.
All right, well, it is a new year, and that means another blockbuster year is about to get underway with some highly anticipated films slated to hit the big screen, including some favorite characters returning for some super sequels.
As the nerd of me, I'm super excited about this. This is going to be a huge year. Fox News contributor and the founder of NerdTears.com, Kevin McCarthy, is here with his 5 most anticipated films for 2017. Good morning, Kevin. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. And Clayton, this segment was actually done just for you because of all these movies that I put in here. And by the way, yesterday I saw you all when I was on the air. I was in Brett's studio in D.C. I've actually just slept here last night, and now I'm back.
I've been waiting for the press release, Kevin, that you're now heading up Special Report, but I haven't seen it. So
I'm waiting for Brett to get back to me, but yeah, I'm able to fill in whenever he needs me.
Although his ties do look good on you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, Kevin, I will say I disagree with you on Batman vs. Superman. I thought it was a mess of a movie. I know you liked a lot of the big set pieces in it. But one thing that came out of that movie was Wonder Woman, and that's number 5 on your list this year.
It is. I'm very excited about this movie. I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. By the way, Batman vs. Superman was actually a pretty decent action movie. Ben Affleck, to me, is the best Batman since Michael Keaton, even though Bale is still the best Bruce Wayne. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. This is a prequel. Obviously, we're going to see the beginnings of Wonder Woman set in the World War II era. I'm very excited to see how this movie plays out. The action looks amazing. Patty Jenkins, the director, is...
Happy New Year, happy 2017. We're also celebrating a big day today. And yesterday. Happy birthday to Clayton Morris, who is 40 years old as of yesterday. We were talking on the couch in the commercial break yesterday about... We were talking about our favorite birthday cakes. And I asked Clayton, and he said his favorite of all time is a carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. So what do we do at Fox and Friends? We find the best carrot cake in the city.
Thank you so much. The best carrot cake in the city?
Thank you, Peter.
See if the cream cheese is to your liking.
It really is the best in the city?
Well, we say it is.
Make that up.
We say it is.
Oh, we say it is. If we say it is, then it is
and Pete,
so.
You said you don't like cake. You like an ice cream cake.
Not a big cake guy.
That is delicious.
I like ice cream, but I like
and
frosting.
Like some sort of crumb.
Yeah. Oh, come on in.
Yeah, everybody get in there. Come on.
Get on in.
Dig your fingers into my birthday cake.
What do you think, Rick? It's pretty good icing.
Good?
That is good.
That's really good.
We'll get some forks.
Where's that from?
This is the best in the city.
Yep, it's the best from anywhere she knows. It's like, CVS around the
corner. That's all we need to know.
Exactly. It's like an elf when he says, world's best cup of coffee. Congratulations, you did it. If anyone can put that up on their wall.
Happy birthday, Clayton.
Thank you so much.
How was your first day in the 40s?
I feel good. I feel so much wiser than I did yesterday, Rick.
I'm sure you feel like you're almost 50.
I don't feel like I'm... No, I know you're close to 50 now, so...
It's true. You are too.
And it's a new year. We're supposed to be kind on New Year's Day.
Not on this show.
Listen to the Pope.
No. You haven't listened so long enough. All right, talk a little bit of weather here. You're waking up this morning, or I'm sure you're probably not woken up. There's probably nobody watching us, guys, at this point. We're probably here doing this all alone because everybody is hungover, sleeping, doing something else. Temperature-wise, not that bad right now. Take a look at what happens throughout the day today across the Northeast. We're going to be dealing with pretty nice conditions, actually. Temperatures not that bad, above average. We're going to remain above average. I've got frosting going on in my mouth.
It's a Mariah Carey moment.
Hold it together.
I know. It is. It's making it hard to talk. Warm temperatures all the way through Wednesday or so before the cold air gets in towards the East Coast. Down across the Southeast, we have a lot of rain. It's going to cause some big flooding concerns, especially around the Central Gulf. Later in the day, some severe weather across parts of Texas. And tomorrow, get ready for big severe weather threat across areas of the South. And towards the Northern Plains, Here you go. Here's your day. Not that bad overall. A few snow flurries coming in across parts of far northern North Dakota. And get ready. You have another storm coming that's going to bring you maybe up to about another foot of snow. That's for tomorrow. And finally, out across the west, you see this rain and mountain snow across Arizona. That moves in across the Four Corners throughout the day today and in towards the Pacific Northwest. More moisture moving on in, including some snow. All right, guys.
How's that frosting?
I thought we were going to have to go to the track and cut away from you.
I know. I don't know what that did to my salivary glands.
Thank you, Rick.
You bet.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, we do have some other headlines to get to, starting with the Washington Post is now under fire for jumping the gun, falsely accusing Russian hackers of tapping into Vermont's power plant. The Fed saying there is no proof that cyber thieves even got into the electric grid to begin with. Instead, a Burlington Electric utility computer was infected with malware that originated in Russia. The most important detail here, the affected laptop was not connected to that power system. And this is a sad story. Could a great-grandfather killed in a hit-and-run crash still be alive this morning? That question now front and center as we learn the suspected killer could be in the U.S. illegally. 73-year-old Richard Nikowski was riding his motorcycle when he was hit from behind. Police in Stuart, Florida, arresting that driver, Antonio Rubio Sanchez. You can see him right there. He doesn't even have a driver's license. And remember Rachel Dolezal, the former NAACP. Well, I remember her. The double NAACP leader made national headlines after it was revealed she was a white woman posing as an African American. She's just disinvited from a Martin Luther King Jr. festival in North Carolina. The town removing her from a panel discussion on race relations after community backlash. Dolezal was forced to resign from her NAACP post in Spokane, Washington last year. That's a story that just won't end, huh? And New Year's Eve is a time for celebration, but did one news anchor take it a little too far? The debate now going viral on social media. Take a look.
New Orleans is awesome. People are saying that I'm lit. Yeah, I'm lit. Who cares?
This is one of my favorite
New
cities
Orleans
on the
is
planet.
lit. I love it. Someone said that you saved me from getting a nipple piercing. I think I'm going to get
welcome.
one.
You're welcome.
Should I get one?
Dawn's mom, you're welcome.
I'm not even sure what's going on there. Don Lemon?
We're just reporting.
Maybe a few extra drinks happened there.
Just New Year's.
Well, you know what? We're going to report that story. You guys can figure out what you think happened there. Clayton, what's going on?
I was going to get my belly pierced.
Somebody has to guard
Thank
you.
Maybe you did. We don't know.
I got a butterfly tattoo instead.
That's what happens when you turn 40.
Right above his behind.
Right.
There you go, Clayton.
So after celebrating the start of 2017 all night, you might be waking up feeling a little less than your best this morning. But have no fear, we have the cure to that hangover to start your year off on the right foot.
Yeah, here with what should be on the menu is chef and culinary nutritionist Diane Hendricks. Welcome.
Hi,
Good morning.
Great to be back.
Now, I was
Love
celebrating.
coming here.
I mean, not only New Year's, my birthday last night. I had a lot of delicious scotch last night.
Okay.
So I need your help.
Okay.
Rick needs your help too.
Well, we're going to start with the hair of the dog.
Right. Hair of the dog.
It may be a wives' tale, it may not, but a lot of people are doing it. So I recommend to do a Bloody Mary or a mimosa because the juices that you're mixing them with have lots of vitamins in them.
This seems like doctors always say this is not the right thing to do, but I think it works.
I think it works, and it's a celebration day, so people are going to be doing it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
Just
you want to
jump on
use a
board.
good quality vodka. So this is actually organic, unfiltered, and sustainably grown vodka by Enlightened Grain. It's really awesome. You just mix it with your favorite Bloody Mary mix, or you can buy it or make it at home, and you got yourself a nice little cocktail.
So the idea is that you basically just continue drinking.
Well, one will do it.
But throw in some fruit or veggies in there.
Exactly. That's what's so great about the mimosa. And this is Cadaraya, which is my friend Brian's from Barter House here in New York City. And you just add a little bit of your favorite fruit and one of your favorite juices, and you got yourself a really nice mimosa.
So those help with potassium.
This helps with potassium.
Now we know. Now we need potassium.
This helps you get started.
Okay, that's
You're going to
starting.
need one of these after this, right, Clayton? Yeah, so we have potassium foods. We have like banana bread and watermelon. So that'll help make you feel better. Lots of essential nutrients. I know that's delicious. And then you can move on to, we have a yogurt parfait and some oatmeal. So you have oats that really will give you a ton of nutrients and vitamins and minerals, which will help you make you feel better. And then, of course, you can't go wrong with eggs. So we have a frittata here. We have avocado and egg on toast with a little cilantro, a little lime, a little fiery spice. You get lots of amino acids, and it really will help, liver function and headache.
So now if you've got a headache, a massive headache, and you want some quiet, you're thinking, okay, I can sustain listening to a blender going right now, churning up the smoothie machine. What kind of smoothies can we make?
Well, the point of the smoothie and the soup over there was just if you just don't feel like chewing. That's what I was thinking. I was like, if you just don't feel like eating, so
if you're that
bad and you need something,
lay me down on the couch, stick a straw in my face.
There you go. It's right there. And that's a creamsicle smoothie, which is really delicious. It's vanilla and orange juice and a little bit of Greek yogurt, and that's like an autumn soup that has pumpkin and carrot and all kinds of stuff.
I see you better have made ahead of time.
Yeah, you can have it make and shake it up. Like I made this one earlier, and then you just shake it up.
You got a basket of bacon here.
I've bacon. You know, you're not supposed to eat greasy foods after if you have a hangover, but I know you're already back on this, Pete. That's why I'm missing so many. This is a Chipotle chocolate bacon, which is really delicious. This is cinnamon brown sugar bacon, and then just plain bacon. So make it nice and crispy, but bacon just cures everything.
Did you say you're supposed to not eat fatty foods?
Yeah, fatty foods tend to not help. I know people go to greasy spoons, but they tend to not really help.
You get like a Big Mac or something.
Yeah, it just doesn't make you feel
They help for 10 minutes.
They help for 10 minutes, and then you feel probably worse than when you started. So these are just really great ways, and these are great breakfasts for any time, not just New Year's Day.
That's right. Dan Hendricks, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Great to be back. Happy New Year. Happy
Thank you
birthday.
for helping us. Thank you. And for all these recipes and more on Diane's YouTube channel. Go check it out, Diane's YouTube channel. We're going to link it up at foxandfriends.com. Thanks, Diane.
Thanks. Here.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy birthday.
And Happy New Year. President Obama is rushing hundreds of Syrian refugees into the country in 2017, and now we know where they're going. We're going to show you where on the map next.
Yeah, and for all those people who said 2016 was awful, they obviously haven't seen this.
Once again, it's National Farm Awareness Day.
It's also National Pizza Day.
Yeah, we celebrate everything on the show.
Every food-related holiday.
We're back. Some quick headlines, all caught on camera. Pulse-pounding video showing kids crushing in an escalator. Don't worry, they are all okay this morning. But the terrifying ordeal unfolding in Russia. One of the students stumbled at the bottom, starting a chain reaction, as you can see, as classmates pile on top of each other. It's frightening. And a major fail for a group of backpackers.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Whoa, as you can see there, an SUV rolling off the back of a barge, plunging right into the sea off the coast of Australia. Helpless onlookers standing by in total shock. Luckily, no one was inside that car at the time, but the tourists' phones, passports, and debit cards are now long gone. That's terrible. Pete, over to you.
When you forget to put it in park.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, the U.S. is already on track to surpass the White House goal for refugees admitted in 2017. And now we know where they're ending up. Just look at this map right there. And it's clear they are being pushed into the heartland, with Nebraska, of all places, receiving the most refugees per capita. But why Nebraska? Well, joining us now to help answer that question is Bree Payton. She's a staff writer with The Federalist. Good morning, Bree. So break this down for us.
Good morning.
We're surpassing the goals of the White House for the number of refugees, and they're headed not to Washington, D.C. or New York, but Nebraska. Why?
Right. Well, I think our leaders are insulating themselves from the consequences of their actions. I think that people who live in Washington, D.C. and make the laws and decide how many refugees come in are sending them to neighborhoods where they don't have to deal with them, right? And this isn't anything new. In 2016, Washington, D.C. took in exactly 0 refugees. And when they did come to the neighboring state of Virginia, they didn't come to the suburbs like Arlington or Alexandria or neighboring Loudoun County or Fairfax County. They got sent off to areas like Roanoke, where the median income is much lower than the national average. So I think it's pretty clear that they're quarantining themselves from the consequences of this. They're separated and far removed.
So elites in a distant capital are once again telling us what was good for us, but not willing to impose it on themselves. But if you can, I don't know if we can put that map back up or not, but why Nebraska, North Dakota, Idaho, is there something about these states or these places, governors, or reasons why these are chosen, or is this just the federal government saying, hey, you're taking them?
Well, the correlation between those states specifically is that they all overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. And, you know, obviously there's a difference between correlation and causation. I'm not saying that the fact that those states voted for Donald Trump means that now the federal government's retaliating or anything like that. But I do think it's interesting that we're seeing this kind of trend and this kind of phenomenon happen.
And these refugees, where are they coming from for the most part? Are they Middle Eastern countries, Syrian refugees? And if so, do you have any concerns? Are there concerns already of assimilation, integration, which is obviously what needs to happen?
Right, exactly. Well, in those states in particular, the ratio of refugees per citizens that are already living there is rather high, right? Like in Nebraska, I believe it's something like 26 refugees per 100,000 American citizens. And I think that our legislatures, need to understand the risks associated with bringing in refugees from Syria, which is that map that you're specifically talking about, specifically deals with Syrian refugees. And, our country is the only country on the planet where our national identity is not defined by our ethnicity, but by our thoughts and by our ideas, right? So I think it's important to make sure that people that are coming into this country, whether they're refugee or immigrant, really do love America and want to be full Americans in every sense of the word.
Bree, such a great point. America is a social contract, and we need everyone investing in that. And if so, we'll be successful. If not, we get the balkanization we see in Europe today and elsewhere. Bree Payton, thank you very much for your insight.
Thank you.
All right. Well, the German Chancellor, speaking of balkanization, Angela Merkel had just had an epiphany. Terrorism, Islamic terrorism, is a real threat. And but her answer is we need more compassion to end it. And for all those people who said 2016 was a terrible year, they obviously haven't been watching this show.
Baby, now that I found you, I will let you go.
More Abby singing, we promise. The best Fox and Friends weekend moments of 2016 ahead. She's still singing.
Oh, it's that time. We look back at the year of Fox and Friends weekend. There's a lot of crazy moments on this show. We put it together in one nice tight little package
It's a
for
tough
you.
job for someone to do.
Right. A lot of work. And they actually have to go through the archives and look at all the bad moments.
So, you didn't need to watch the entire year. You could have just watched this 1 4-minute clip.
And apparently, Clayton, you're wearing the same tie in the very first shot of this.
I bet.
As you are today.
And every day. Watch
Let's
this.
See.
Fox and Friends begins right now.
This will be the most interesting year of our lives. I'm totally convinced. 2016.
So we've already had a big 2 hours. We've still got 2 more to go.
Fox and Friends Hour 4. Can you believe we've done 3 hours?
There he goes.
America's mayor wearing America's socks.
Look at that.
I just loved you guys.
Good morning, Fox and Friends.
Mornings are better with Fox Friends.
Hey, Fox and Friends. Fox and Friends.
Fox and Friends rocks.
The only debate I ever have about libertarian policy is with you, Tucker. That's what he's admitted, and that's what you, my friend, glossed over.
I think you'd be more credible if you would just admit the obvious.
We're going to have Geraldo on the show.
Right.
And then Geraldo was walking down the hallway.
You set him loose in a building, and there's no telling who he will run into. And I have to say, after Trump got up, I looked at him, and we were all covered with dog hair. Because it's
from the doggy segment we had done.
We had a dog segment right before, and that's what happens on this show.
I found some friends out here.
We're celebrating once again. It's National Farm Awareness Day. It's also National Pizza Day.
Yeah, we celebrate everything on the show.
Every food-related holiday. Ice cream, National Cotton Candy Day. We're celebrating May, which is National Barbecue Month.
If you don't stick around and watch the show, no soup for you.
Right around 1:20. Tomorrow, another hot day.
Rick, who was that walking around behind you back there?
What? It was a frog mascot that popped up.
Did you see?
No, I missed it.
We suspect it was Janice Dean in a frog outfit.
Yeah.
Weird things have happened here.
Just when we thought it couldn't get any more crazy, we were just instructed that we have like 30 segments outside on the plaza this morning.
But I'm going to go get on the slide now.
I walked all the way back to my place yesterday, 2 blocks, barefoot, or in my socks, in a wetsuit, and not one person noticed. That's how weird New York is. How does this compare to wearing body armor in Iraq?
A little safer.
A little safer.
But much hotter.
There's a lot of unusual things going on in New York City, but an above-ground pool on 6th Avenue with synchronized swimmers. You really have to tune into Fox and Friends Weekend to see that.
It just makes you want to get up and dance.
Friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away.
Baby, now that I found you, I will let you go. Ransom to be paid.
Can you sing us to break
Yeah.
here? Would you mind singing us a few bars?
Sing you to break. God bless America. Land. Guys, it's too early to sing, but we're done. We're done. No more singing. No more singing.
I'm a little misty this morning. This is Tucker's last day sitting here on the curvy couch with us on Fox and Friends. I'm going to miss you terribly.
I've worked in TV for 20 years. This is the nicest place I've ever worked.
Oh, yeah.
Love you all. I think we'll see you next weekend, everyone.
Have a good Sunday, everyone.
You got in trouble for the snowball throw?
I got in trouble
Why?
for that snowball throw from the because I hit the camera.
And I got a good shot on you on that one, too.
Yes, totally.
We had fun.
It was
What a
crazy.
year it's
Yeah,
been.
we said goodbye to Tucker. We said goodbye to Anna.
I know.
Man,
And we said hello.
We said hello.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a good family.
What a crazy. You think about as much food as we eat on this show. It's amazing every year.
Tucker said the one thing he was looking forward to was losing some weight after getting off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Tucker started, he said the one thing he knew is that he would never eat on TV.
That lasted.
Don't eat
That
ever on
lasted.
TV. He said that was gone
lasted
after
about a
one
day.
day.
We got rid of that real fast.
Be prepared
You know,
to humiliate yourself.
It makes you excited for 2017.
Yeah.
What's to come? Totally unpredictable.
So true.
Love it. All right, coming up, President-elect Donald Trump has a solution to international hacking. Just unplug.
If you have something really important, write it out and have it delivered by courier the old-fashioned way. Because I'll tell you what, no computer is safe.
That's right. Battlestar Galactica
Right?
style.
But leave it to the mainstream media to turn that into a jab at the future president.
And President Obama making some big claims in his final address of 2016.
We turned recession into recovery, and we've put more people back to work than all other major advanced economies combined.
Really? Okay, millions of Americans beg to differ. We're fact-checking those claims next.